My dad had emphysema, and during the last part of his life he got a number of chest infections, and I was lucky because I worked in a hospital that the nursing staff thought to teach me how to give the antibiotics so that when he came home at Christmas time we could continue his treatment. And as it turned out, that was to be his last Christmas at home, and it meant the world to us to be able to take him home. Hi, I'm Julie Adams, the Managing Director of Chemo at Home. Chemo at Home is a health service which is essentially a hospital without walls. We treat patients with chemotherapy and immunotherapy, and they may be patients who have cancer, or they may be those with chronic illnesses such as rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis or inflammatory bowel disease. Well, the philosophy that drives Chemo at Home is that we just want to make care easier for patients. We want the care to be based around them, and we don't want them to have to fit into a hospital system and have their lives turned upside down. The first challenge came down really to the funding and the regulations. The second was trying to work out how to do it safely. And I guess with my background as a pharmacist, I knew what we could do to help make it safe. And the third was to be able to make it something that could be done in a cost-effective manner. The other challenge that we had with making it work is just getting the public to know that we even existed. So that once we started, we actually had to be able to educate people that this was a safe and effective way of giving treatment. Well, we started in July of 2013 and we had one patient in our first month. That was a really slow month, but it just picked up from there, and every year we have doubled the number of patients that we see. We started off with just one doctor referring to us. We now have over 100 doctors who regularly refer to us. I mean, the vision for us is to be able to make this available to as many patients around Australia as who want to have access to it, whether they live in metropolitan areas or whether they live in Broome or Townsville. We'd like them to be able to get access to our care.
I'm feeling all right.
And then there's many patient stories that kind of spring to mind, but one that actually wasn't about a patient of ours, but it was after an awards ceremony, after the Telstra awards ceremony last year, and a gentleman came up to me and he said, you know, you've really deserved to win the Telstra award. I think your service is amazing. My mum just died of cancer recently. And he was a young man in about his 30s, and you could see as he was saying it, he was starting to well up. And he said, you know, it would have made such a difference to our family if we could have had this care at home, and I know she would have loved it. And as he was saying it, he was crying. And I looked over at my daughter, and she just looked at me and she went, wow, Mum. And she had a hand on her heart and she's going, I get it. I get why you do what you do now. It makes a difference to people's lives. And, you know, those sorts of stories, there's nothing that beats knowing that you can change someone's life for the better.